Federal assault weapon bans. The Public Safety and Recreational Firearm Use Protection Act, popularly known as the Federal Assault Weapon Ban, AWB or FAWB, was a subsection of the Violent Crime Control and Law Enforcement Act of 1994, a United States federal law which included prohibition on the manufacture of included a prohibition on the manufacture for civilian use of certain semi-automatic firearms that were defined as assault weapon, as well as certain ammunition magazines that were defined as large capacity. High capacity magazine. High capacity magazine or large capacity magazine is a magazine capable of holding higher than normal number of ammunition round. A magazine may also be defined as high capacity in legal sense, based on the number of rounds that are allowed by law in particular jurisdiction. 1. Ross Veronica, January 24, 2013, Laws on High Capacity Magazine. For example, in the United States, the now expired federal assault ban of 1994 a prohibition on the manufacture for civilian use of certain semi-automatic firearms that were defined as assault weapon, as well as certain ammunition magazine that were defined as large capacity. The 10-year ban was passed by U.S. Congress on August 25, 1994, and was signed into law by President Bill Clinton on September 13, 1994. The ban applied only to weapons manufactured after the date of ban's enactment. It expired on September 13, 2004. Okay, let's continue. Following its sunset provision, several constitutional challenges were filed against provision of the ban, but all were rejected by the courts. There have been multiple attempts to renew the ban, but none have succeeded. Research regarding the effect of the ban is limited and conclusive. There is insufficient evidence to determine the effectiveness of the ban, reducing the overall homicide rate as well as firearm the total firearm homicide rate. The ban was in effect for a limited period, and the vast majority of homicides are committed with weapons which are not covered by federal assault weapon ban. Effect of assault weapon ban and high capacity magazine ban on violent crime. RAND Corporation, April 22, 2020. There is, however, tentative evidence that the ban reduced fatality and injuries from mass shootings, as assault weapons are more frequently used for those crimes. Legal challenge. Several constitutional challenges were filed against provision of the ban that all were rejected by courts. So can civilian have armor-piercing round? Armor-piercing handgun ammunition is federally banned for civilian use or ownership in the U.S. or United States. So this handgun ammunition is banned. So do not use armor-piercing handgun ammunition. So just try this. But do not try at this home, okay? Do not try at this home. Armor piercing handgun ammunition. Requirements. Unobtainable. Except Roblox admin. Or I mean just admin. Despite its censorship, just use 50 caliber slap instead. $155. Philippine or Sci-Fi Philippine. Or $5 Sci-Fi USA. So this one is literally just only the one is very unobtainable is armor piercing handgun ammunition. In fictional context, armor piercing handgun ammunition is described as highly restricted or rare items, limited to those with the highest level of clearance or administrative privilege. The requirement of 50 BMD rounds, 155 pesos in Sci-Fi Philippine or $5 in Sci-Fi USA, refers to the cost of obtaining this round, which up which appears to be relatively low or for high-powered caliber of ammunition. It is important to note that these details not reflective of real-world ballistic or firearm law. You should just also you need to use a steel core handgun instead of that one. It is not unobtainable. Five or $5. Sci-Fi USA. Okay, so this one is literally just only the requirement used to do this. So this one, the armor piercing handgun ammunition is unobtainable except steel core. It's very obtainable if it requires. In this fictional scenario, steel core FMJ rounds are being described as relatively cheap and accessible. The cost is stated to be 15 pesos in Sci-Fi Philippines and $5 in Sci-Fi USA, which indicate a much lower price compared to the armor-piercing rounds mentioned earlier. This could suggest a more abundant and less restricted supply of this round. Thanks for watching.